Welcome to Heathen's Garage. The GMC is back, and we're gonna try and make it better than ever. We've been doing YouTube for just about a full year now. Pretty much within a week, it's a full year. With that in mind, I thought it was time to kick it back to where it all started. Sort of. It's like the first YouTube video we made as Heathen's Garage anyways. And that's this. Good old auction truck. If you haven't seen this thing or heard of it before, there's a whole playlist of, getting it home from the auction and figuring out that it had no oil pressure and rebuilding the engine and putting it back together. And then it kind of just stopped. Like we were driving it, it seemed like it was good, and then I just stopped making videos about it. And what happened was the muffler fell off and I stopped caring about it. It was summertime and there was bigger fish to fry than this. So I just parked it and it has sat here since. Now there was other things wrong with it that I may not remember right now. I think the drive shaft is out of balance, needed an oil change, window regulator was broken, had mismatched tires on it, air conditioning pump was bad. There's a few other things that needed if I remember right. But anyways, it's time that we started working on this again. If you haven't seen it, well, this is what it looks like. It's brown inside. Apparently I left somebody's shoes and a blanket, and to say that I didn't treat it well might be putting it lightly. It kind of just, I threw stuff in it and it got used like a shed. And I don't know what I got back here, but all kinds of junk it looks like. Appears like the trailer wiring has seen better days. Elvis, what do you think? Do you still like this old truck? It was pretty good. It had a spot for you to sit, hey? What do you think, Looney? Like, this is it. Did some custom body work there. Hasn't rusted through yet on this door. It was real bad. And it's still real bad, but now it's a different color white, not rusty and real bad. Anyways, that's what it looked like. We're gonna go find a battery, see if it'll start. Then I'll bring it in the garage and we'll show you what we're gonna tackle first. Now, if we're honest, I'd rather be working on Fivel here, but it's not the one that I need next week, It's the one I need in a while. So, I'm gonna clear some snow off. I think it's got a battery we can steal. Oh, that's heavy snow today. The shovel's not really the way to do it on something that you value the paint on. But, well, Fivel's due for a repaint anyways. Oh no, I left the battery connected. That's not good. Why is it raining? Let's see if it cranks and then I'll know if the battery needs charge. That's good. That means this battery is probably good enough to start the auction truck. Let's get her disconnected and moved over. Why is it raining on me? Yep. Just as I suspected. No battery. Diagnoses are best when they're easy. Alright. Move you out of the way. Let's get a battery in there. Oh. Why does that happen? That's very cold. Where did all the snow stick to that? Why does this brace have to be here? Just to make it difficult? Is that the only purpose of that? There we go. Where's our pocket wrench? I had one earlier. Oh no. Told me I lost it. Oh, we're good. Oh no. That didn't feel good. Did I just strip it? No, I didn't, did I? This is awful. You're kidding. It was in there like one thread. Oh, it came pre-stripped. Oh, okay, well. That doesn't make me feel a great deal smarter, if we're honest. Why is everything always so hard for me? So this right here, this is not gonna fly. We need a bolt. That isn't the right way to fix it, but I guess it'll work for now. It's time we see if this thing starts. Everything's getting all wet. Come on, old girl. Pretty soft. It fits, but only just, guys. Like, we had to do some fairly major reconstruction to this little space here to make it go. I had to pull the headache rack down. We tucked it in last night, actually. My dear wife's nice car had to sit outside, where I wanted the snow to melt off. Anyways, we moved a bench and we moved a bunch of stuff, and she's in with actually a couple feet to spare, so that's pretty good. Now that I've proved it can fit, I'm probably going to spin it around and back it in, because that would make a lot more sense. Just because I said it's a little squeezy in here does not mean we don't have enough room to work. To be clear, I am incredibly grateful to have a reasonable, warm place to work this winter. Because, it's probably the first time I've had a really good place to work, of my own at least, well, ever. And that took a while to get here, but we're here now. Anyways, this project is starting, well, very much where it started when we started YouTube about a year ago. And that is with an exhaust leak on the same truck. Which I guess means I didn't fix it right last time. We knew that when we put the engine in because the gaskets we got were really cheap ones. And we were pretty upset about doing it, but we knew it was going to happen and I wanted to drive it, so we did it. Now we get to redo it. However, so that I'm not sad while redoing it, we splurged. We've been on old Amazon, and look what we got here. Oh, oh, oh. With the V-band, we got shorty headers. Stainless steel shorty headers. These are the nicest headers I've ever bought, and they were cheap because they're from Amazon. So I don't know if they're going to fit any good. They're considered swap headers, which I think means they aren't going to fit this application, but that's okay because we bought everything else to just build a full front to the back, custom 2.5-inch stainless steel exhaust because I want to practice stainless steel TIG welding, and why not do everything the hard way? Anyways, I'm pretty excited about these. They come with headers, V-bands. They came with like V-band adapters with the oxygen sensor port welded right in already. Like, and you know, like I'll bring it up. It does feel like it's been clear coated or something over top of this, but it's certainly nicer than I can weld. And I think it'll probably seal. I don't know. We'll find out if it doesn't. Now to start this whole project, we are going to get the old manifold off, which means we need tire off, inner fender off, and then actually it's pretty easy to get to everything. Let's get the thing jacked up, I guess, and we'll go from there. Where are my dogs? I missed my dogs. Oh boy, that was a terrible noise, wasn't it, Bear's Keep? When you go to do this, I don't know if you can hear me over the furnace, maybe this is a terrible idea. But when you go to do this, want as much room as possible. So put your jack stands under the frame instead of the control arm. That'll at least hang the suspension down too. How much head height we got? Oh, we got lots. Four down for there. Over here. Hey. Yeah. Oh, hello. Come here. Come here. You want to shake? You want to shake? No. You want scratchy scratches? You good dog? You want a bear? You gotta be noisy. Are you ready for noises? Oh, I got to be noisy until I have the right size socket. Now for pulling all these trim clips out, I don't know if you know how these work. This thing goes in. Oh, it's kind of like a drywall. Oh yeah, that showed you really good, didn't it? Kind of like a drywall anchor. The middle bit comes out and it gets small, and when it goes in it gets bigger. They make awesome tools that make it easy to pull in and out. And I have exactly 0 of them, so we just little pry bar that fits underneath, and you fight with it and then you pull on it with a pair of pliers. And it's neither efficient nor good, but it's paid for. Now it comes out. Get the electrical off of there, one way or another. There, and that's half the battle done. Now we get to the exhaust manifold, and it's in there. Now what you're probably going to be able to see from here is like a bunch of shadows and not much more. But what I can see is I've got a little bit of wiring in the way. I got to pull the spark plugs. I got to pull some bolts, and then it comes out. So I'm just going to go after that. Also, I'm going to open the hood because I think that might let in a little light. Buddy Kyle got me these spark plug wires. They're blue. I don't know if you can see them, but I sure like looking at blue spark plug wires. This doesn't look too hard. It sure is like wiring and steering shaft and everything. Dangling in the way though. Just take the spark plugs out before I break them? Does that sound reasonable to everybody else? Probably, hey? Now, as far as I'm concerned, 2 feet of extension so your arms are like in a nice place to work. That's the only way to fly for these. Why would you ever try and get your tools right up in there against the spark plugs? Granted, you put your spark plugs at a risk of breaking them, but, you know, totally worth it in my opinion. Spark plugs, they all look perfectly normal. Looks like it's running good, honestly. They're all sort of, well, I don't know. They all look like that. You decide. I think they're fine. If there's one thing I can offer you, it's this. You get yourself a piece of, I don't know, 3/8 or 5/16 hose, and it makes it really easy to pull it out the rest of the way. And put it in the rest of the way. That's like all I know to tell you about spark plugs. You need to take them out. Well, technically you don't need to, but if you don't, there's a good chance you're going to bust them. So, you know, to each his own, I guess. I've rolled underneath and undone 2 of the bolts holding the manifold to the exhaust, and the other one is going round and round but not coming off, so that's not great, but we'll figure it out. I'm going to undo these bolts and get the manifold loose, and then maybe we can sort of pry and twist and we'll get it out of there one way or another. Now, you got yourself one of these wobbles. Life just got a whole lot easier for you. Incidentally, I did have one that was what you would call exceptionally loose. That, folks, these are junk. Just don't ever use these. They're garbage. If they look like this, throw them away. Get a multi-layer steel set, or better yet, get that brand that I always talk about that's great, but I can't remember the name of right now. I need to crawl underneath and fight now. Oops. That's good. It's probably difficult to see the problem from, you know, your couch or bed or wherever you happen to be watching this. But anyways, the deal is this one goes round and round and doesn't go any further off because this stud is bent and, well, all the threads are gone, which I expect was, you know, me last time. If it looks right, what happened is I had to shave it all down to get them to catch the upper threads. Because there's upper threads, there's just no lower threads. Which is less than ideal. But maybe now that we've got some weight... Oh no, that sounded like something I just broke. Oh well, things happen. Maybe now that we got some weight hanging off of it, we'll get it to pull down. Oh boy. Oh, come on. Is it working? Well, if nothing else, I'm going to have both the head of the nut and the threads stripped off. I don't think it's helping. Plan B. I'm not going to tell you how to use one of these or what you're going to do with it, but I'm betting you can guess. Oh, that didn't sound good. close to getting a manifold in the head. Ow. Now that the manifolds are, well, one of them, we're jumping ahead. I'm going to do the other side off camera because you don't need to see it twice. The only difference with the other side is you got to pull the oil dipstick tube out, which can be a nightmare, I won't lie. But this one's already been replaced when we did the engine swap, or engine rebuild, if we're generous enough to call it that. Anyways, we won't have trouble with ours, but that can go horribly, so be prepared for that. Now, I've titled this Amazon's Best Headers, or Best Headers on Amazon, or something like that. And here's why. Because they have a great big 3/8 thick flange, okay? It is flat-ish. It's more or less true. Like I put a real straight edge across it at work, and it's like it is not far off. I've definitely bought more expensive headers that were worse. The welding's really good. It does have a weird coating around every weld that I bet is gonna melt off, but whatever. They're headers. They get rusty. That's what they do. The welds here are all quite reasonable. They're not perfect, but they're all quite reasonable. It's not full of MIG wire, which is a bonus. And they're V-band. And I really like that they're V-band. Now that being said, the V-band adapter comes with an O2 sensor port and plugs if you don't happen to be using them. They're pretty nice flush fitting plugs. I think they're great. I don't know if I figured out how to put a link below to an Amazon product or not, but I'll show you a clip of the picture from Amazon. Maybe you can get it that way. Anyways, let's see how they fit. I won't lie, it isn't looking promising so far. Bolt in here. Oh, that's so much dirt going down my back. Oh, they sure do look cool. Like there's definitely big clearance issues that we're gonna have to fight with, but we'll see what it looks like in a second here. Like nothing a grinder won't fix, but I'm quite sure that the header is currently touching the transmission. We're going back under. They sure do look cool in there though. At least there's that. Alright. So here is the problem. You can probably see it there. This 4L80 has a couple spots that, well, that header is not going to clear. Now the good news is I've got no qualms about trimming either of those things because they're not really very important. Like this is a assembly line or rebuild piece, so I don't care about him. And this is just like it bolts up there, and I don't know if this is for a different engine or what the story is, but there's no bolt going through here anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's just there. We'll knock that off. The issue that can cause, however, is if you go to rebuild this transmission, and what you want to do is just an R&R, replace it, grab a new one, they'll ding you real hard on the core for having modified the bell housing. So for this one, what you'd end up doing is just taking them the transmission and saying, can you rebuild this? As opposed to doing a swap because, well, core charges are expensive. Or you just, suffer and take it. I don't know if they ding you for a whole transmission or just a little bit on the bell housing and they'd fix it. But anyways, I'm not too concerned about it. We'll zip them off. It did add a question mark to my best Amazon headers ever, though. Because that's... like, it probably fits a Turbo 400 or a Turbo 350 or any of the manuals. But, I don't know. Like, a 4L80 is not an uncommon transmission for a LS, so... why don't the headers fit good? Somebody miscalculated. That's why. With all that being said, and very little accomplished other than getting this thing in here and taking it apart, we're gonna call that episode. Because, you know, it's Sunday evening and I got a busy work at real work. Or busy. Next week's busy is what I'm trying to say. And I would like to spend some time with my wife before that. So, that's the end of the show. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you all subscribing and we'll see you next time. Bye.